Israel just created something mind-blowing. Even the US is shocked. In recent conflicts, threats have proven to be more advanced, rendering most air defense systems ineffective and exposing several nations to the destructiveness of aerial threats. Recognizing the danger, Israel has created an unstoppable and extremely powerful defense system, a technology no other nation is yet to achieve. This groundbreaking system is designed to provide unwavering protection against modern threats, bolstering the country's security beyond measures. What is Israel testing in Pakistan? Can it deter the most powerful weapon in the world? Join us as we explore the revolutionary capabilities of the new powerful air defense system being tested in Pakistan by Israel. Defense systems can be described as the backbone of any developed nation. These systems are extremely important in ensuring national security and protecting a country's sovereignty, citizens, and infrastructure from various types of threats. Aside from being a powerful deterrent, they ensure that a nation can defend its borders and maintain its territorial integrity against external threats. Without a capable defense system, a country is vulnerable to invasions, occupations, and foreign interference, which can undermine its independence and political stability. However, evolution has taken a toll on the effectiveness of these defense systems. Evolution has always been viewed as something important and inevitable. While this claim is irrefutable, defense companies would likely have mixed feelings concerning the importance of evolution. Evolution has increased the effectiveness of aerial weapons, making it harder for defense systems to do their jobs. This has exposed several nations to undeterred aerial attacks. The war in Ukraine is one of the many proofs that many air defense systems are simply becoming powerless against artillery shells. Because of this, many cities constantly suffer from shelling, which has led to the destruction of important infrastructure and civilian casualties. Presently, there is currently only one system in the world that is capable of defense against this advanced threat, and it is specifically this system that Israel is currently testing in Pakistan. When Hezbollah, operating from Lebanon, first bombarded Israel's northern population centers in the 1990s, it alarmed Israel's defense industry that they needed to build a unique short-range anti-missile system. In 2004, General Daniel Gold, leading the IDF's Research and Development Bureau, skillfully persuaded politicians to support this critical project. This is simply how the Iron Dome vision went from being a mere vision to becoming reality. In 2006, the Second Lebanon War erupted, and Hezbollah launched about 4,000 rockets, which rained down on northern Israel, causing significant damage, especially in Haifa, the nation's third-largest city. Around the same time, from 2000 to 2008, Hamas launched 4,000 rockets and 4,000 artillery shells, threatening over 1 million Israelis in the southern region. These persistent attacks fueled the country's determination to build a defense system that could deter these aerial threats. In 2007, the Iron Dome project experienced a major development. Defense Minister Amir Peretz decided that this innovative system would become Israel's main defense against short-range missile threats. The $210 million project was led by the local company Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, closely working with the IDF. In July, a year later, the Tamir interceptor missile underwent successful testing, and by March 2009, Israel had successfully tested the missile defense system, though it had not yet intercepted an actual projectile. A year later, the system successfully intercepted several rockets, mimicking Qassam and short-range Katyusha rockets, during a defense ministry test. The following month, the IDF completed the establishment of a new battalion to operate the Iron Dome system. This battalion, which is a part of the Israel Air Force's Air Defense Division, was initially set to be deployed along the Gaza border, followed by the border with Lebanon, and the system was expected to start operating in mid-2010. By January 2010, the Iron Dome had successfully intercepted multiple rocket barrages mimicking Qassams and Katyushas. Defense Ministry Director General Pinhas Bukris stated that the system would ultimately transform security for the residents of southern and northern Israel. Again, in July 2010, the system once again successfully intercepted multiple rocket barrages mimicking Qassams and Katyushas, demonstrating its ability to distinguish threatening rockets from those that would not land in designated areas and therefore did not need to be intercepted. Finally, in March 2011, Iron Dome was declared operational by the IDF, and Defense Minister Ehud Barak authorized its deployment. The Iron Dome's primary mission is to intercept short-range missiles and 155mm artillery shells with ranges up to 43.5 miles, which is about 70 kilometers, and altitudes up to 32,800 feet. Its advanced technology allows it to operate day and night in any weather, and to tackle multiple threats at once. The system consists of three main components: a detection and tracking radar built by defense companies, ELTA and Isarel Aerospace Industries, in collaboration with the IDF, the control center called the Battle Management and Weapon Control, built by Rafael with software developed by Impress Systems, and a rocket launcher that launches Rafael-built Tamir interceptor projectiles, equipped with electro-optical sensors and multiple radar stabilizers to help the missiles maneuver. The standard battery for the Iron Dome is 3 to 4 launchers, each of which is capable of firing up to 20 missiles. The EL/M2084 radar of the Iron Dome system works by detecting missile launches and tracking their trajectories in detail. Upon receiving information about a projectile, the Israeli army assesses whether the target threatens a specific area or object, and then decides whether to launch an interceptor missile to neutralize the enemy missile before it reaches its intended impact zone. The Iron Dome differs significantly from the standard air defense systems that are used by other countries. Typically, other systems consist of a radar unit, a missile control unit, and several launchers positioned close to each other. In contrast, the Iron Dome features a dispersed deployment, each launcher equipped with 20 Tamir missiles that can be placed independently and operated remotely via a secure wireless connection. Rafael revealed that a single Israeli air defense battery can protect an urban area of approximately 150 square kilometers. The Iron Dome became operational in 2011 after installation at Air Force bases in southern Israel. Another battery was planned near the city of Sderot during heightened tensions along the Gaza border. The system underwent rigorous field tests and was fully deployed in the Beersheba area by March 2011, following rocket attacks by enemy forces. In April 2011, the defense system successfully intercepted a rocket fired from a Grad MLRS station in Gaza towards Ashkelon. Shortly after, an Israeli Air Force aircraft targeted the missile launching unit. Just a week later, the Iron Dome intercepted 4 additional missiles. On August 20th, 2011, during a barrage of 7 missiles from Gaza aimed at Beersheba, the system destroyed 6, demonstrating its effectiveness, estimated at around 90% by its developers. Israel initially provided funding for the Iron Dome, enabling the deployment of its first 2 systems. Subsequently, the United States contributed over $1.6 billion towards additional air defense systems and interceptor missile resupply. In 2022, the United States Congress approved an additional $1 billion at the request of Israeli authorities. The success of the Iron Dome against rocket attacks from Gaza prompted mayors of southern Israeli cities to vie for the deployment of additional defense systems in their areas. However, due to a shortage of batteries, the IDF clarified its inability to expand the dome's coverage area at the present time. Despite proving effective against rocket attacks, Defense Ministry officials remain concerned about the Iron Dome's ability to withstand larger arsenals wielded by Hezbollah in Lebanon during potential conflicts. Operation Protective Edge showcased a 90% success rate, intercepting 737 rockets that were aimed at populated areas at a cost of $70,000 to $100,000 per interceptor. With Hezbollah estimated to possess around 100,000 rockets, the Iron Dome could face fiscal and operational strain from numerous incoming salvos. In response, directed energy weapons like lasers were explored as a cost-effective supplement to Iron Dome. These lasers, capable of destroying rockets from a distance of 15 to 20 kilometers, use coordinated beams to burn through the rocket's outer shell and disable it. However, their effectiveness can be hindered by weather conditions, necessitating Iron Dome's continued use as a complementary defense. In 1996, Israel developed the Nautilus prototype, deployed near Kiryat Shmona along the Lebanese border. Despite successfully demonstrating the feasibility of laser technology using components from other systems and an early Green Pine radar prototype, Nautilus was never operationalized. Instead, Israel opted for ground troop interventions to mitigate rocket threats, deeming them more cost-effective. Later on, David Ivory, former Israeli Air Force chief and Boeing Israel head, expressed interest in the U.S. Navy's laser weapons system. Laos, mounted on the USS Ponce, demonstrated rapid target acquisition and destruction at a minimal cost per shot, showcasing the potential of laser technology in defense applications. In February 2022, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett announced plans to deploy a ground-based laser system within a year for trials, aimed initially at protecting southern Israel from Gaza-fired rockets. The long-term vision is to establish a comprehensive laser wall around Israel to defend against rockets, missiles, and UAVs. Despite their advantages, lasers face challenges such as weather impact, slower firing rates, and shorter ranges, necessitating their integration with Iron Dome in scenarios where they can optimize interception costs. Since the IDF assassinated the Secretary General of the Popular Resistance Committees in Gaza on March 9, 2012, more than 300 rockets have been fired at Israel, 117 of which landed on its territory. The Iron Dome managed to intercept about 56 shells that were aimed at population centers. These attacks were followed by Operation Pillar of Defense between November 14th and 21st. The Iron Dome intercepted 421 rockets, and an additional battery was deployed to the Tel Aviv area shortly after 2 rockets were fired there. Then, after a couple of hours, it managed to intercept a third projectile launched toward the city. The most interesting thing, though, was that this air defense battery was planned to be put into operation no earlier than next year. The total rate of successful interceptions within Operation Pillar of Defense, according to CNN, was 85%. The dome was actively used during Operation Protective Edge in July 2014, protecting Israel from yet another rocket fired from Gaza into the southern, central, and northern parts of the country. By that time, Israel had already deployed 10 air defense systems, and the total number of missiles fired at the country during the 50 days of the operation was over 4,000. The dome destroyed about 735 shells that posed a threat to its civilian population and infrastructure facilities, reaching 90% efficiency on hitting targets and intercepting more than 70 missiles at the same time. Only 25% of the rockets fired from Gaza were considered threatening due to low accuracy, unstable trajectory, and their overall build quality. In October 2014, Rafael introduced the Sea Dome, a naval adaptation of the Iron Dome designed to shield ships in both open and near-shore waters from ballistic and direct attack weapons used in intense assaults. Unlike its land-based counterpart, Sea Dome features a 10-round canister of vertically launched Tamir interceptors, offering a 360-degree protection. It makes use of the ship's own surveillance radar, eliminating the need for a separate fire control radar, and boasts a compact design suitable for installation on smaller vessels, such as offshore patrol ships, corvettes, and even fixed oil rigs. Rafael initially estimated a prototype could be developed in under a year, and early discussions with potential users are already underway. The system is set to be deployed on Israel's Sa'ar 6-class corvettes, with operational success noted in intercepting short-range missiles at sea by May 2016. By November 2017, the Israeli military achieved initial operational capability for Sea Dome after more than 18 months of integration and design efforts. Regarding counter-UAV capabilities, Iron Dome has been proposed as a cost-effective solution for intercepting unmanned aerial vehicles. While estimates place the cost of a Tamir interceptor at approximately $100,000, it remains significantly cheaper than alternatives like the MIM-104 Patriot, which can cost between $2 to $3 million. Despite the Patriot's broader coverage, Iron Dome's affordability makes it a viable option against UAVs, given their lower cost in typical operational scenarios. The system requires no major upgrades to effectively counter drones, a capability highlighted since its inception. In a test that happened in July 2015, Rafael showcased Iron Dome interceptors successfully neutralizing both low and high-flying UAVs. The The system demonstrated its ability to destroy armed UAVs before they could deploy munitions and effectively engage medium-altitude reconnaissance UAVs before they could conduct detailed surveillance of an area. In May of 2018, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced it had fired about 20 missiles from Syria at Israel in retaliation for the latter's recent airstrikes on IRGC facilities. Out of these, 16 shells didn't even reach the Israeli border, and the dome handled the remaining 4. This is a proof of the increased effectiveness of Israel's defense system. Later, in November of 2018, the air defense system successfully intercepted 100 missiles launched from the Gaza Strip. A year later, the IDF released footage of a Syrian Arab Army missile attack on the Golan Heights that was intercepted by the Iron Dome. As it turned out, the video was filmed by skiers who were at the Mount Hermon resort, after which the authorities hastily closed it until further notice. The attack itself was a response to Israel launching 9 missiles at SAA targets in the western part of Damascus. But that was not the most mind-blowing event regarding the Iron Dome. In the intense 2021 Israeli-Palestinian crisis, Hamas released about 4,300 rockets towards Israel from May 11th to May 21st. On the very first day alone, 470 rockets targeted Tel Aviv from farther distances, while around 680 shells landed in Gaza itself. Despite the intensity of the attacks, the Iron Dome once again proved its effects by intercepting an impressive 90% of the incoming projectiles, effectively reducing the damage that would have been inflicted on Palestine. As mentioned earlier, Israel initially announced its plans to extend the reach of its Iron Dome protection to the seas in 2017, with the aim to safeguard offshore gas platforms. These systems were set to complement Israel's formidable Barak 8 missile defense setup. Each of the Israeli Navy's Sa'ar 6-class corvettes was slated to carry 2 Iron Dome batteries, ensuring comprehensive defense coverage over critical areas like shipping lanes and offshore installations. Later in February 2022, during a military exercise, a more advanced version of the Iron Dome mounted on the Sa'ar 6 corvettes demonstrated its effectiveness and power by successfully intercepting rockets, drones, and even cruise missiles at sea. This exercise laid emphasis on the Iron Dome's adaptability and reliability in maritime environments. Then on the 8th of April 2024, a significant milestone was achieved when the Sea Dome battery aboard the INS Magan, a Sa'ar 6-class corvette, achieved its first operational interception. The system intercepted and neutralized a UAV drone near Eilat. After experiencing the effectiveness of the Iron Dome, one thing is certain: this defense system is one of the best in the world. Can this defense system help Ukraine in neutralizing the constant threat of Russian missile attacks on its civilian population? Ukrainian Ambassador Yevgen Kornichuk believes that Israel's defense system would go a long way in protecting its infrastructure and citizens. In early June 2022, he urged Israeli authorities to consider this, emphasizing that the United States, as a co-designer of the system, has shown openness to supporting Ukraine with advanced air and missile defense systems. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged the effectiveness of the Iron Dome, but noted that due to Ukraine's larger size and the specific types of threats it faces, such as Russian missiles like the Kaliber, Dagger, X-22, and Iskander, the Iron Dome may not be suitable for defending the entire country. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov also stressed the urgent need for Ukraine to develop its own air defense and missile defense capabilities, especially against cruise and ballistic missiles launched from various locations near its borders. He expressed hope that ongoing support from allies, including systems like NASAMS from the United States and IRIS-T from Germany, could eventually provide robust protection for cities facing constant threats from Russian attacks. Can the Iron Dome intercept all types of aerial threats? Recently, Iran claimed that it had created a hypersonic missile capable of traveling at 15 times the speed of sound, adding a new weapon to its arsenal as tensions remain high with the United States and Israel over Tehran's nuclear program. This hypersonic missile, called Fatah, meaning conqueror in Farsi, was unveiled as Iran also announced the reopening of its diplomatic missions in Saudi Arabia. The unveiling, prominently featured on Iranian state television, was intended to demonstrate Tehran's ability to deploy advanced weaponry across the Middle East, According to a tightly orchestrated segment, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi, speaking at the event, emphasized the missile's role in enhancing regional security and stability, describing it as a pivotal deterrent. General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, head of the Revolutionary Guard's aerospace program, presented what appeared to be a model of the missile, stating it has a range of up to 1,400 kilometers, which is very effective. This range places the Fatah within Iran's existing ballistic missile arsenal, which has grown significantly under Western sanctions, limiting access to advanced military technology. Hajizadeh also claimed that there is no existing system that can effectively counter the capabilities of the Fatah missile. However, the effectiveness of missile defense systems, like the Patriot against it, would depend on its maneuverability. The missile displayed features like a movable nozzle, suggesting potential for altering its flight path mid-course, making interception more challenging. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.